Algebra and inequalities. First question we're going to look at is substitution, and that is where we are given the value of n and we need to put it into, substitute it into the number sentence. So it says 2n add 9. So what is 2n add 9? And we know that n equals 22. So 2n means 2 times whatever n is. So we can write that out as 2 times 22 add 9. Then we follow BODMAS, and we do the multiplying first. Just remind ourselves about BODMAS. The order in which you do calculations, brackets, order of operations, things like powers, squared numbers, things like that. Divide, multiply, add and subtract. So we do 22 times 2 is 44. Bring this down. Add the 9 is 53. So that's how we do substitution. Putting in the 22 to the number sentence. So we did 2n, which is 2 times n, so 2 times 22 add 9. 22 times 2 is 44, add the 9 following BODMAS. Now sometimes you'll be given the answer to the number sentence, but you have to work out the value here. And when we get a question like that, we need to do some inverse calculations. So the first thing we need to do is we need to take this 4 here, this add 4, and we need to get rid of that. So we're going to do the inverse operation. So we're going to subtract 4 from this side and from this side. So this will become 2q add 4 subtract 4 equals 100 minus 4. So whatever we do to one side, we must do to the other side. So then we end up with 4 minus 4 is 0. So the 2q stays as it is. And 100 minus 4 is 96. Now we need to do the inverse here to work out what q is. So this is 2 times q, so we're going to divide by 2. So if we divide this side by 2 and this side by 2, so 2 divided by 2 is 1, so that becomes 1q. So you can just write q. And 96 divided by 2, we're going to do a quick bus stop division. 2, 4, 6, 8, 4. It's 48, so q equals 48. And that is how we work out the value of q. Quick recap: 2q plus 4 is 100. We subtracted the 4 first. We did the inverse of add. Subtracted 4 on that side, subtracted 4 on that side, which just gave us 4 subtract 4 is nothing, and 2q was separate, so that came down to there. 100 subtract 4 is 96, and then we divided 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we could have written 1q, but it's just 1. If it's just 1q, we just write q, which is only one of them. And then 96 divided by 2 is 48. Let's look at a question, another algebra question, but it uses formulae. This is a test type question. A shop prints designs on t-shirts. They use a formula to work out the price for printed and design. So formulae are useful if you say want to, for example, in this question, vary the number of colours. You have a way of following some instructions to work out the price or the cost of something. So they work out the price in this cost. They do 60p multiplied by the number of colours. So the more colours you have, the more expensive the t-shirt is. And then they always add £1.25 at the end to work out the total cost. So if there was one colour, it would just be 60 times 1, add £1.25 or 125 pence. The question says 3 colours. What is the price for print and design? That's 3 colours. So all you have to do is put our 3 into here. So it's 60 times 3, add £1.25. Remember the BODMAS we had before. We do 60 times 3 is 180 pence and £1.25. Then we need to add these together, making sure the units are the same. So make them both pounds because the answer is in pounds. Add that together. £3 and 5p. So that's just substitution again, isn't it? Putting this 3 into this formula. The next question says Amina has £5 to spend on printing a design. What's the greatest number of colours she can have in a design? So this time we've got to work out the number of colours. We know the cost. She knows she's got £5. We know what the price is, or the amount of money she has to spend. So the first thing we're going to do is a bit like we did on this question when we did subtract 4. On this question we're going to subtract our £1.25 first. So do £5, subtract our £1.25. We're going to get rid of that £1.25. And that gives us £3.75. Now we need to work out how many colours we can get £3.75. So we need to do £3.75 or 375 pence divided by 60 pence. I think probably the easiest way that is to just write our 60 times table. So that's 2. 1 colour, 2 colours, 3 colours, 4 colours, 5 colours, 6 colours. Now, so 6 colours would cost £3.60. If we wanted a 7th colour, we'd go past £3.75. So if she's got £5, it's 60 times 6 is £3.60. Add the £1.25 would be £4.85. So, and that means she'd have 15 pence change. Therefore, she can have 6 colours. Okay, just to show you how that works, it would be 60 times 6 is £3.70. Something like that. And then £3.60, add £1.25, because you always pay £1.25 however many colours you have. Will give you £4.85, so she will give the shopkeeper her £5 note and she would get her 15p change, and she would be able to have 6 colours. Let's look at another algebra type question. Now this question involves you writing some number sentences using letters. It's not as difficult as it looks. Some people find this quite hard, but I will just go through this. So K stands for a number. So here we've got 5 more than K is. K could be anything. So K plus 5, so this is just this. Something add 5, but on this occasion it's a K. Okay. 2 less than K is. So our number, whatever it might be, is 2 less than K. So it's just K minus 2. 3 more than twice K. So twice K is K times 2, 2 lots of K. So that is 2K, 2 times K, plus 3. And the last one, 6 more than half K. So we've got half K, 6 more, add 6. Or you could write that as 6 add half K. So that's how you write out number sentences or algebraic expressions. Follow the instructions that they give you. Here, 5 more, so it's just K add 5. 2 less, so it's K minus 2. 3 more than twice K is 2 times K plus 3. 6 more than half K, well there's our half K plus 6. The last thing I'm going to show you, which you'll need to think about, is inequalities. And you might have some number sentences. So we've got 2 number sentences here, and if they balance, I'm going to write an equal side. If one side is greater than the other, we're going to, or less than the other, we're going to use this symbol or this symbol. Now, just a reminder that the large end of the arrow, or it says largest, points to the biggest number, and where the inequality goes to a point here, it points to the smaller number. Okay, so the largest end of the arrow points to the big number, and where the arrow goes to a point, points to the smallest number. So 11 times 12 is 132. So you work out each number sentence first, and then once you've done that, you put your arrow in. Don't just guess the answer, work out each side first. 60 divided by 20, 20, 40, 60 is 3. 90 divided by 30 is 3. So they equal, they balance. That side balances that side. 120 divided by 4 is 30. 160 divided by 8 is 20. So this greater, this is the bigger number. So the larger end of the arrow points towards the 30, and where the arrow comes to a point here, the arrowhead points to the 20, the smaller number. This is 240, and 100 times 10 is 1,000, so it's that one the way round, as I break my pencil. And that is how inequalities work.